Good day, my dear friends. My name is Bharat. My topic is auditing of AI systems to cover security and privacy. Before we start the topic, a very quick introduction about myself. I have more than 25 years of experience in the field of IT audits, risk management, and cybersecurity. And I'm very, very happy to present this topic. And my sincere thanks to Mr. Subbu and his team members for arranging this event. Thank you. So before we get into this subject on auditing the AI systems for security and privacy, let's understand what is this artificial intelligence that's been widely spoken across the industry everywhere. So what is this artificial intelligence? It's basically the emulation or simulation of human intelligence, and it's been designed using various machine languages, to think and make decisions on behalf of humans, right? That's all to support humans. That's why the AI has been designed, and it's basically a support system or an advanced support system to help humans, right? So that's a very good innovation in the last few centuries. So it has a lot of benefits in terms of quicker decisions, efficiencies, and stuff like that. But how reliable are those? How accurate are those? That's what we're going to talk in this topic. So AI is basically a support system which helps human to take efficient decisions. That's the overall purpose of AI. As I said, it's been designed using machine language and other languages which are used to design this artificial intelligence product, right? And this AI is not only being used in specific industry in current world, it's being used across the verticals. Let's talk about banking, let's talk about healthcare, let's talk about manufacturing, think about any service industry, in any other word you think about, right? This AI is being used very widely. That's why the importance of AI is become so very, very critical. And also it carries, as I said, it carries a lot of benefits as well as it carries a lot of risk as well. Now let's see the importance or the need to audit AI systems to cover security and privacy. Of course, there are various needs, various requirements to audit. I have listed out the top four from those, and the number one is on the data privacy and regulations. So we have a lot of regulations and requirements across the region, across the countries. Like for example, GDPR and European acts, UK Act, and we have other privacy regulations coming up in every country. So we'll have to make sure that we are in compliance with those acts. And second is on security vulnerability. This is a very important topic because every vulnerability exists in the systems needs to be thoroughly examined on a periodic basis, and so is the case for AI. So we'll have to make sure that we have a robust program to cover the security vulnerabilities, specifically for the products designed through AI. The third one is on the bias and discrimination. This is very important because how the AI works is based on the information and feed provided by the users or the person who is designing the product. So it is from his past experience and reference and stuff like that. So it is very important to make sure that the logics or design is being thoroughly examined. Make sure that it is not biased or it is not for any specific purpose. The last one is on the regulatory compliance. Again, as I said, with the growing number of regulatory compliance, we have to make sure that we have a very robust audit program, audit planning in place to cover the systems, technology, process on a regular basis. So these are the four important points which I wanted to speak to cover the need for AI, for security and privacy aspects. With the risk part, definitely it induces the need to audit AI systems to cover security and privacy. Some of them are data privacy violations, non-compliance with regulatory requirements, bias and discrimination, as I said earlier, security vulnerabilities, model opacity, lack of accountability, inadequate change management, and so on. So these are the various risks exist in AI which needs to be thoroughly considered while you design the audit program for AI. With the risk part, definitely it induces the need to audit AI systems to cover security and privacy. Some of them are data privacy violations, non-compliance with regulatory requirements, bias and discrimination, as I said earlier, security vulnerabilities, model opacity, lack of accountability, inadequate change management, and so on. So these are the various risks exist in AI, which needs to be thoroughly, considered while you design the audit program for AI. Let's discuss the steps involved in conducting the AI audit. To start with, a very strong framework needs to be established. Scope, objective, the team who are going to be involved in the audit, that needs to be established as a first step. The next step is to conduct a data audit to check the data flow, data in transit, and data at rest, and and so on. That needs to be verified because typically AI uses a lot of data. Data flow would be there, so that's why this step is very important. The third step is on auditing the model AI model, which means, as I said, it involves a lot of complex programming languages and techniques being used. That needs to be verified thoroughly. The fourth one is to assess the system security. System security aspect is very important. As I said, we spoke about the vulnerabilities and so on exist, so that needs to be verified. The next step is to check the regulatory compliance. Evaluate the compliance based on various standards and best practices exist in the market. Let's take for example, GDPR 27001, NIST. All those needs to be verified. The controls needs to be embedded and checked wherever it is applicable. The next step is to make use of tools and techniques to verify the logics and program involved in AI. The last step is to report and recommend the solution or the observation which are being raised in the audit. So these are the various steps involved, in a nutshell, right? When it comes to AI audit. Now we'll see a little more detail on the steps involved as I explained you just now. To begin with, establishing a strong audit framework. This is very important because this talks about the setting up objectives and scope, as well as defining team members for the audit. So objective and scope needs to be very clear because without a proper unclear objective, audit may be a failure. For example, if you want to audit, the privacy of the data involved in a project, or if you want to audit, the logic of any specific tool, or if you want to audit the entire project or process against any regulatory framework, that needs to be clearly defined and needs to be entered in the scoping document, right? And of course, defining team members depends on based on the expertise and the experience they carry. That needs to be clearly defined. That's the first step. The second step is on auditing the data, right? That is very important because it comes from a various perspective. Number one is on the data privacy. What kind of data is being managed, and what kind of data contains confidential information. All those things needs to be assessed in the early step. And the next step is to check the access control part in terms of who has access to data, what kind of access they have, and whether they have the access on the appropriate way, right kind of access being given to them, and these kind of things are gets audited at the earlier stage. And also we check the data retention and deletion part, how long the data is being retained, how the data is being stored in the first place, and how long the data is being retained, because some regulatory requirements explicitly talk about the retention of data. Typically it's 7 years, based on various regulations. So how these are being managed. So those are the topic which gets audited in this step. The next step is about testing the model of the AI. So it talks about the testing on adversarial inputs. The next one is on the bias and discriminations being tested. Third one is the model robustness, which are being tested, and it also tests the transparency part of the data. So these are the various testings are being done in this particular stage. The next stage is to test the system security, wherein we talk about the check on access and authorizations, infrastructure security, and we also check the monitoring and logging part of it. So typically to test the security of the system, which are being tested in the stage. The next stage is all about how are we considering the regulatory practices, regulatory compliance and framework which are being there. For example, 27001, as I said, NIST framework, GDPR compliance. Are these requirements are being sufficiently covered in our methodology, in our audit methodology, which is being tested in this particular stage. Yeah. The entire audit process, there are various tools are being used specifically to test the privacy, security, as well as to conduct risk assessment. There are various tools to test the security aspect, and also to test the privacy. There are various tools available in the market, and to conduct risk assessments specifically for AI, there are tools like AI Fairness 360 and LIME and so on are available in the market, right? The last step is to document what you've tested, and also recommend your suggestions to the stakeholders. Right, this is a very important step, because whatever we have audited, that needs to be clearly documented in a proper format. Even a layman should read the document and understand what you have documented. Right, that's a very important step in the audit process. And the next one is communicating the observations or gaps you identified. So that also needs to be clearly defined, and with a clear severity rating. It could be high, medium, and low. Depends on your organization standard. So documentation, recommendation, and communication of the gap is a very important steps in auditing process. And every recommendation should have a deadline. For example, if we have raised an high priority issue, that needs to be closed. Observation needs to be closed within a stipulated time frame of, let's say, 30 days. And if it is medium, depends on the organization standard, it could be 60 or 45. If it is low, it could be again 60 or 75 or 90, depends on organization standard, right? So this is a very important step, and this is also the closure stage of audit. Once we have done the audit, it's getting documented, the observations are being communicated, and we start tracking the observations which are being raised in this audit. So net, these are the various steps involved in conducting the audit against security and privacy. And if we follow these steps, I'm sure we can do a kind of thorough analysis on the requirements of our stakeholders, right? And to conclude my overall topic, as you all know, as we discussed for the last 10-15 minutes, why auditing of AI is important, because of the requirement of AI tools, techniques across the industries, mainly in banking, mainly in healthcare, where all this critical data flows are being happening. Right, these are very important. Needs to be assessed what kind of data is moving out, what kind of data is being preserved in this critical industries. And of course, not only in these two sectors, in other industries as well. We have data movement, either it's privacy or confidential data, that needs to be thoroughly examined, right? So I think that's why we need to have very strong audit methodology or program to be established for AI, with the complexity it carries, and to make sure that we are examining the AI tools or process or technique in a very comprehensive way. I think that's it from me, and as I said in the beginning of the call, I would really like to thank my friend Subbu for giving this wonderful opportunity to talk about this topic, which is very close to my heart. And I wish you all, everyone, good luck and all the best for your future. Thank you.